We all know countries in the world for their cultures, hospitality, and beauty. But you know many of these countries are also famous for their rude behavior? Here are the top 10 rudest countries in the world. Or what most people say they are. Before we get further, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Alright, let's get to it. And number 10, Turkey. Turkish people have a reputation for being rude for whatever reason. They have a lot of history here. Istanbul, once Constantinople, played an important role in this. Many European crusaders passed through there on the way to the Middle East, and they created a lot of issues. They have a lot of history and interesting stuff to visit here. Turkey receives around 50 million visitors every year, and 41% of respondents plan to visit one of the three nations with the most unpleasant locals. At number 9, the Spanish. If you're a visitor to their country, they're not as kind and nice for whatever reason. People that dislike a lot of visitors are generally small children or young adults. Adults enjoy it, or at least the money that comes in from the visitors. Even though we're not certain of the facts, according to the surveys and polls, Spanish people are not particularly fond of foreign visitors. Spain has over 70 million visitors every year, and 45% of those polls name Spain as one of the three nations with the rudest locals. At number 8, Greece. Greece is one of the world's oldest countries. Every year, 30 million people plan to visit it. That pleases the government and the shopkeepers. It's not always well received by the locals, though, since they're known to be impolite. Many Europeans or individuals from North America see this as rudeness. They, like many countries, have some unpleasant people who are simply rude. But this contributes significantly to their reputation. One of the three rudest nations, according to 27% of those polled, was Greece. And number 7, Russia. Russia is another nation with people that receive a terrible name since their culture and the way they conduct things don't sit well with many people, particularly those in Western countries and their inhabitants. Russians are quite direct and to the point about everything. There's no such thing as a gray area. When they talk to you, they don't sugarcoat it. As a result, many people regard it as impolite. According to the poll, Russia was ranked as the top 3 nations with the rudest natives by 53% of respondents. And number 6, Americans. If you're visiting America for the first time, make sure you're aware of the risky neighborhoods. Any area has the potential to be deadly, but Americans have their share. For example, you should note tiny things like going to see St. Louis, the Ark, and the other things that are incredible. However, don't visit East St. Louis. You can see downtown Detroit, but don't leave the city limits. The United States was named as one of the 3 nations with the rudest inhabitants by 50% of those polled. Number 5, Italians. Italy boasts some of the most beautiful cities to visit, like Milan, Florence, Venice, San Marino, which are not a part of Italy. It is their own nation. Many people are unaware that Italy contains a little nation within it, Marino, it is saying. Every year, about 90 million visitors visit Italy, despite a significant decrease during the academic years, and the majority of them appear to believe that Italians are rude. Italians have a reputation for being impolite, and 41% of respondents named Italian one of the 3 rudest locals. At number 4, Germans. Everyone knows how unpleasant Germans are thought to be. Restaurants can be a little harsh at times too. A lot of people have an opinion, but this obviously isn't a fact. There's no such thing as an arrogance metric. Germany receives over 40 million visitors every year, and 61% of those served said Germany was one of the 3 nations with the rudest residents. At number 3, China. No matter what people have to say about China, according to polls, there are rather unpleasant locals there. They'd like you if you travel to the countryside, but in cities, people are nasty and brusque to strangers. But that can be said about anywhere. However, the residents in rural places are nearly delighted to have you. China was named by 46% of those polled as one of the 3 countries having locals that were rude. And number 2, British. Apparently, the British people are also on the list of the rudest people. This is remarkable since, of all the people polled, the number 1 nation of origin whose people believe the British were the rudest were the people in the United Kingdom. The British are said to be the rudest people in the world. It's as though these folks are aware of how they are. And apparently, according to the polls, they accept it. The United Kingdom was ranked 3rd in the world by 63% of the people who talked about locals in a poll. And at number 1, France. The French apparently have a reputation for being impolite. Since the beginning of time, there have been jokes about how rude the French are. Everyone knows it's just a joke, but people make movies about how nasty the French are too. Years ago, there was a movie starring Dudley Moore, in which he portrayed an executive who had a nervous breakdown and began expressing the truth, and he made an ad that everyone liked. 89 million visitors visited France after its integration. The target was $100 million, but let's see if they can achieve it in the coming years. Now that we're out of the pandemic, 71% of those said the French were the rudest individuals in their top 3 nations. Well guys, that's it for this one. What'd you think about it? Let us know in the comment section below. If you're new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.